This radio show might make you cry, will probably make you angry, will most assuredly make you laugh, and is guaranteed to make you think. 3-6 Nation Radio, where no topic is too hot, no take is too cold, with Monica Livingston and Sean Parker. 3-6 Nation Radio, in 3, 2, 1.
Here we are. We are live.
Are we actually on the air?
We're on the air. We're on the air. This is happening.
Wow.
This is happening. 3-6 Nation Live. Here we are. How's everybody? Well, I can't hear y'all, so I don't know.
Tell me your name.
I am Monica Livingston, your host of 3-6 Nation Radio.
And I'm Sean Parker.
It's
the
my
main event
sidekick right
voice
here, and we are happy to be here. Listen, this has been a long time coming. We have talked about this. We wanted this to happen. Sean and I have thought about this in several different times and met with many different people, and we decided to do it here today in Listen Vision.
And we're actually hearing our Facebook Live
That was our feedback.
replay. That's okay though.
Well, at least we watched ourselves, so we know we have at least 2 listeners.
At least.
Okay. I wish I could have commented that we were cool, but anyway, now it's going to be up to you guys.
The people will find out eventually that we're cool.
I hope so. So yeah, this is a thing that we're going to do every single Thursday, 5 to 6. We're going to be coming to you live for the next year. I mean, this is our first one, but we're getting into it, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So hang in here with us.
We only on a 1-year deal?
Yeah, it's actually 11 months.
Wow.
Yeah, we need some more money if we're going to go a little bit longer.
I think we can handle that eventually.
All right, we'll do that. So, yeah, Sean, tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Well, since we only got a 60-minute show, I'll make it brief, okay? Southwest Virginia, born, PG County bred, went to the University of Maryland. I'm a PA announcer for the DC Divas.
Yes, he is.
6 sports at GW. And, hopefully freelance play-by-play, so... I want to be behind somebody's mic, and I'm behind your mic today, and I am so honored to be here.
There you go. Okay, so thank you for that. And
Kiss up to the host.
Right. So I told
that.
you that I would pay you after a little bit later. You don't have to say that on. Are we still live? Hello? Okay. Yes, I'm your host, Monica Livingston. If you're looking at this on Facebook, you know who I am, so I don't think there should be a big introduction. I love this stuff. Anything where I can have a microphone, whether it's in front of a bunch of people or here come into your living room and your commute, your drive home. I'm the leader of 3-6 Nation, which is you can go to 36nation.com to learn more about the things that we want to do. It's really community-based, but when Sean and I talked, one of the things that we really wanted to do was be a voice for you. So we are just kind of an extension of things that are going on in the community, and we want to have guests, we want to have call-ins, we want to make this very interactive. We don't look at it as just our show. It's your show, hence the nation part. And every week we're going to come to you. We're going to do some news, some hot topic type stuff. We're going to have community leaders in here letting you know what's going on in the community.
Most definitely.
We're going to do some fun. We're going to have some fun. And
we're going to make it
moist. So the reason that we are here, though, is because of our sponsors. Let's talk about our very first sponsor. This guy, man, Martino Savage, he's been getting me together. He's my personal trainer. I had to hire a personal trainer when I learned that this was going to be also a live visual feed because some things were happening. It's been a long time since I was playing running back for the DC Divas.
It hasn't been that long.
It's been a long time. So I hired Martino Savage from the Elite Athletic Program, and I want you guys to know the work that you get when you go to him. So for our first sponsor up, for our very first show, let's look at a little bit of the Elite Athletic Program. Thank you very much for, again, the Elite Athletic Program, our first sponsor. Listen, let's get right into it. There's a lot of news happening. I mean, we're here in D.C. How about this? Time for some 3-6 Nation news.
3-6 Nation News, the DMV's #1 source for the hot topics and current news of the day, with Sean Burgundy and Monica Corningstone.
Now, I hope you got the Anchorman reference right there. If you didn't, go watch Anchorman and you'll know what we're talking about.
I was hoping that
She's
they got
Monica
it.
Corningstone. I'm Sean Burgundy without the bushy mustache.
I have
Go ahead,
never,
Monica.
ever seen Anchorman. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you that now. I was so nervous when you decided that was going to be our intro. I was like, I hope that our listeners, y'all hear me, our listeners get the reference.
Come
but
on.
It's okay. It's okay. So that is the news.
They get it. They've seen it.
What's going on around here? And you want to lead first or what? I'll tell you what. I want to talk about something that's been on my mind.
Go for it.
This anybody hear about the pregnant teenager at the Christian school?
I did not.
Hagerstown,
me
Maryland.
about it.
She goes to a Christian school, fundamental Christians also. They're 15 in the graduating class. She became pregnant, and she's a straight A student. She was in the government, like she was like the president or vice president of the government association, student government association, 4.0 GPA,
Nice.
and she got pregnant. And her punishment was 2 days suspension, but then they decided they weren't going to let her walk in her graduation. Now, there have been other students who have come forward and said, you know, I was drunk, or other students that had sex and asked for forgiveness because they signed this code, right? This code of conduct. Mm-hmm. And I went to a school very similar to this, Camp Springs Christian Schools, Fundamentals Christian School. We couldn't do anything and we did everything. So it is what it is. And some of my CSCS people, go ahead and call in or text in or Facebook Live or whatever it is that we're doing, but get in touch with us because I would love to hear you guys' response on this. And the call-in number, again, is 203-580-3636. So anyway, she decides not to have an abortion. She doesn't want to have an abortion. She comes to her family, tells her parents. Then she also tells the school administration, and they decide that her punishment is that she can't walk at graduation because she violated the code. Now, had she had the abortion, so you're saying, okay, I get that, Monica. What's the big deal? Had she had the abortion, obviously they're pro-life. If she had the abortion and came and asked for forgiveness, they would have forgave her, and she would have potentially been able to walk. And there have been other students that are going to be walking in this class that have simply done their sin and then asked for forgiveness. It seems like she's being penalized for actually keeping the baby. And it just like, there's a personal thing with me with this, you know, being a fundamentalist Christian high school. But I think it's terrible, and especially for these people that are so pro, you know, life, to then penalize this young lady for making, in their eyes, the only decision that she could make. So it ticked me off. I want to know if it ticked you guys off also. You can let us know later or now on Facebook and Instagram and tell us actually what you think. When we get to the end of the hour, we're actually going to look at some of the responses that we're hopefully getting as we're going to be on air. But yeah, I was just like, you've got to be kidding me. If she had the abortion, then she would have been okay. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I mean, my visceral reaction to that when I was listening to you explain that was, give me my diploma and just and let me get out of this raggedy school. You know, she's done. She did her academic due diligence.
Yep.
Okay, if you want to say she committed a sin, okay, if you want to call it a sin, whatever, she got pregnant.
Right.
But she earned her degree.
Yeah.
Give her the opportunity to walk. You know, that's something I went through 2 graduations, one high school, one college.
Right.
And, you know, it made me feel so good.
Yeah, you don't
to
get
put
that
that
moment
robe
back.
on, to put that hat
Right.
on, to sit there, even though my college graduation was in Coalfield House and it was 90 degrees and we were sweating, and Kermit the Frog was our commencement speaker. That's a whole different set of issues there.
That's the topic for next week's show.
But I mean, but still,
Wait a minute, though. Was Miss Piggy with him?
No, Elmo was.
Uh-oh. Now there gonna be all type of rumors. You know it's Pride
Yeah.
weekend.
Well,
We'll find out Elmo
we'll
and
talk
Kermit
about that.
together. Okay, go ahead. Back to
But
right.
no, it's so you earn that. You earn the right to walk. I just say let her walk.
Yeah, they're not going to. The principal was on Channel 9.
Then mail it to me and let me keep let me
She's
go
gonna
on
get
with my
her
life.
diploma. She's gonna get her diploma. She's already accepted into New York City College. She's going away. She's fine. The father did not go to the high school. She did say they don't plan to marry, but her parents are going to be instrumental in helping her raise the kids. So it looks like her life would go on. I have to tell you, coming out of that environment, I have so much respect for her for coming forward, not only if she thought under that belief system that she made a mistake, but to do it in the forefront, right? Like she's been interviewed on Channel 5, 7, 9.
Right.
It's been on national news. And so for a young lady, to me, that has that type of character is empowering. And I think that it will help other young women realize that, the most important thing is their voice. And we make mistakes, and some people say it's a mistake, and some people say that it isn't. I think she will go on. I just wanted to say out loud that I think it's terrible that they are penalizing her for, in their eyes, this sin or this break in the conduct. But they've been able to forgive a whole bunch of other students.
Because you're telling other students you can't make mistakes.
Right.
If you make a mistake, we are going to disqualify you
Yep.
from everything social and academic and so
Yeah, what do you do, right?
I've got some stuff in my head. I'm not going to go there. We'll do that in the uncensored podcast.
Oh,
But yeah, just let her walk, let her have her life. For this young lady, kudos, hats off to you. To the school that did that to her, you get the horns.
And speaking of school, in a much sadder note, your school, University of Maryland, the Bowie kid that was murdered there waiting for an Uber. So much promise by that whack job.
And that, I mean, you said it. That was a situation. He was a whack job. I mean, that just came out of nowhere. I don't think that's anything indicative of the safety protocols and everything that they have in place at the
Right.
University of Maryland. This was obviously a disturbed young man that came across a group of people that he considered to be a threat to him.
Yeah.
And, this young man, unfortunately, was in the wrong place at the wrong time. From every indication that we've seen, he was a wonderful young man. I think he was getting ready to go into the military.
Yeah, he was. He was already a lieutenant in the military. And you know what, Sean? I know what you mean by the wrong place at the wrong time, but let me say this. He actually was in the right place at the right time. He was where he was supposed to be. He was celebrating his graduation and his new commission into the United States Navy to serve us, and some wacko was in the wrong place. Right. So, I feel bad for his family. It just makes me think that, unfortunately, I was going to try to stay, nonpartisan, but I can't even help it, because what that means is not, being true to myself. And this administration, no matter what side of the political coin you fall on, you have to admit that there seems like there's this uprising of brutality and violence with a racial undertone that we haven't seen in 8 years. That's right, I said it, in 8 years. It's almost like this administration is giving, all those orders that Trump is signing. He's signing, racial disruption orders as well, and it seems like the races are coming out of the woodwork.
Well, the divisiveness that we have in our country right now, especially politically, because everything these days is red state, blue state,
right.
Democrat, Republican.
Right.
All of that divisiveness really has its root way back in the 1970s. Right around the time of Watergate. There was a time in this country where politically the political parties could come together. Mm-hmm. They could compromise.
You're right.
It's almost like compromise these days is a dirty word.
Yeah, no, it is.
And that is very unfortunate, because when we have compromise in this country, great things can come about. I mean, this country was founded on compromise.
Right.
I mean, our founding fathers, there were certain people that wanted to hold on to those royal, the royal. I don't want to say decrees, but
Right.
they wanted to hold on to the monarchy,
Right.
and there were people that wanted to have a democratic republic.
Sure.
They came to a compromise. So I think we need to wrap our heads around the concept and the idea that compromise is not a bad word. Compromise makes everybody happy.
Which is communication, right? You can't compromise unless you're talking to each other.
Absolutely.
And that's what we've kind of stopped doing. I mean, I'll be very honest. I had a friend. I'm using that word loosely. Like, we are in like Facebook battle, like regularly, and it used to be in front, and now I do most of it in private. And finally today, he was just like, "Don't send me any of your propaganda videos, whatever." And I'm like, I'm. This is the truth. This is what's happening. But
Dude,
if you want
really?
to, you want to live in your bubble and act like, racism is dead and that doesn't exist, then, it is what it is. And what I'm hoping that, we weren't even supposed to get into this topic, but I'd like to do a whole show on that where we bring people from both sides, different economic status and races, religions, and maybe we'll do
and be able
a
to
show.
have an intelligent conversation
Yeah.
and not a scream fest.
Exactly, right. No screaming. This is not the Housewives of
Because
36 Nation.
it is possible to talk about politics in this country without yelling at each other, being able to debate the points.
Right.
And we've gotten away from that. Bottom
Yeah.
line, we just want to yell at each other. We want to make our point without hearing the other person. And that's not what a civilized society is all about.
It's right now, I think we're in a time where we're so emotionally driven that it's difficult to, just really sit down and talk. But hopefully we'll be the catalyst of that. We'll be, having shows where we can do that and facilitate that, and
Absolutely.
it will happen.
So what's our third topic? What's your third
Jeez,
topic? Because
don't
I
know.
got three too.
Well, I wanted to pick it up some. That was a little bit of a drag. That's not what the show
all
is
right.
about. This is
Are you
supposed to be
going-
fun.
Are you going with the concert bombing? Or
No,
what do you-
no.
you're
Right after a death and the pregnant teen.
You
I don't
want,
feel
okay,
like
you
talking
want me
about
to
that
jump in
anymore.
because I got something that's
Is it funny?
it is fun. It is
Okay, well,
funny.
fun?
It's funny, but it also makes me a little bit angry.
I thought
Male
I thought you were going to hit
rompers.
the moist
Male
button.
rompers. That's a dirty. No. I don't want the
Okay.
moist button anywhere
Anywhere
near
near-
male rompers. Okay. I have this story right here from GQ.
Talk to me about the male romper.
They interviewed GQ.
Blue's your
interviewed
color. Are you thinking about
two
ordering
of
one?
The founder. You will not find. I'm looking directly into the camera. You will not find me anywhere near a male romper. Bottom line.
Okay. What GQ say?
Okay, GQ. They interviewed two of the four co-founders of the Rompim. That's what they're called, Rompim. First of all, that's just
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
a male Rompim. Okay.
Rompim. Okay.
All right. So Rompim was started up by four students at Northwestern. Okay. They had their Kickstarter. They made over $68,000 in 2 days. So they can't be that dumb. All right.
It's Northwestern.
Okay. The thing that gets me, all right, why a romper for men? They asked Elaine Chen, who is one of the co-founders. I personally love a romper for women, and we were looking for something that didn't already exist for guys. Daniel here, that's one of the other co-founders, was a little tired of wearing the same button-down pants, so we got to talking about why we couldn't build a better product and make a romper available for men that's cool and fun and different and is a conversation starter at the end of the day. All right, I don't want to be involved in that type of conversation.
I was just going to ask you, as a male, a heterosexual male, do you ever go into the store and say, you know what, I want a fun and cool shirt? Like, I don't think that those are words that come out of your mouth.
I mean, okay, I don't wear just black and white and gray. I mean, a man can wear a nice pink
Sure,
shirt, can wear
sure.
a nice yellow dress shirt. You know,
Right.
there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. have you seen these? I mean, have you seen? You can't see this.
Well, no, we cut to
can
it.
Can you see this? These look ridiculous.
I don't know.
That's
Listen
insane.
To me. That blue one is hella cute.
Come on.
The denim one.
Monica, you keep talking like that, I'm going to leave the show, okay?
I mean,
I'm going to walk out. No.
He's going to be in a romper next week watching.
So what is the ideal environment for the romp him? Clark. This is Clark. We've taken them to festivals and the Kentucky Derby.
All right, let me ask you one
Who was
question.
wearing this at the Kentucky Derby?
You know, not only straight men go to Kentucky Derby, right? Okay. Let me ask you one question. Okay. This is going to solidify our contract here.
All right.
If we get a romper sponsor, all they want is to see
you give me the money, I
Sean the voice.
Give me the money.
The main event voice.
Give me the money. Okay. I will put it on. Yeah, I'll put it on.
Okay, that's what I needed to know. That's all I need to know. If you own a romper, want to
No. See, you said a sponsor.
Well, I'm getting there. Or know a designer and you're in the area, please call us at 203-580-3636. I know someone that might be able to design you a cute romper.
First
LaShawn
show,
Faust.
and I've already stepped in it.
She is a heck of a stylist. I'm going to look for a romper for you. And make sure that's attached to money.
Okay, wait a minute. I got to... So you made it pee-friendly.
Oh, yeah, I was going to ask that. I wondered if you just pulled like one of the shorts to the side.
They put a zipper fly in it. In it.
Okay.
But what if you have to... Excuse me, y'all. What if you have to number two?
Don't you have...
You have to take the whole thing off?
Welcome to a lot of women's world. I mean, yeah, that's what happens.
I'm done with it.
Okay.
I'm done with this male onesie. Okay, I'm done.
Let us know
next topic.
What you guys think about the romper. Don't let him off the hook. Again, remember, you can email me personally. I'll get my personal cell phone number out right here. I absolutely will. If you have a romper, we are looking for a romper sponsor so we can keep this show coming to you.
Just like the $1 Million Man used to say, everybody has a price. And I have
Thursday,
a price. That's,
tune in.
For money, I'll wear it.
For Sean and the romper. Okay?
We are an entertainment show, and I do entertain. Just make sure that it fits. Because if it's too small, you can forget it.
We're gonna
no. All right.
Might be sexy.
Okay. So the next thing, I was going to talk about the Manchester bombing. This is what I was going to start talking about. But as I was researching this, there were a couple of things that kind of stood out to me that makes me want to make another point. Okay. So in the UK Prime Minister Theresa May,
right,
when she came out with her statement condemning this act and talking about the investigation that follows, she said that she would make clear to President Trump, quote, "Intelligence that has been shared must be made secure," end quote. It said Trump described the leaks to the news media as deeply troubling and pledged to carry out a full investigation. Here's point number one I want to make about this.
Close that door. Thank you. Go ahead.
Nobody, no other world leader should have to dictate to our world leader about what you say, what type of intelligence that you pass along.
I completely agree.
I have never heard another world leader tell our president, hey, you need to check what you're talking about.
The problem
this is insane. It's ridiculous.
I wouldn't even use that word leader with him. That's the thing. He just happens to be the president.
Okay.
But he's not a leader.
Right. Now, that in and of itself is not my point. I want to keep going on.
Sure.
In the U.S. reaction to the Manchester bombing, President Donald Trump condemned the attack and wrote on Twitter, quote, "We stand in absolute solidarity with the people of the United Kingdom," end quote. Trump also commented on the events while on a visit to Israel, calling the perpetrators, quote, "evil losers." Okay, I want to talk about this for a second. Does it sound like the same person that called them evil losers said, "We stand in absolute solidarity with the people of the United Kingdom"? Absolutely not. Right. Somebody wrote that for him.
Oh, sure.
Let's go on. The Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan, in talking about this same incident, said that he claimed that, quote, target innocent children is cowardice in its most heinous form, end quote. That sounds like a leader.
Right.
And the point that I want to get to is talking about a presidential voice.
Sure.
At some point during the presidential primary season, and there's no specific point, the people that are in that primary, they start to take on an aura and they start to have a voice
Right.
that sounds presidential.
Presidential.
They sound like they are prepping to become the leader of the free world.
I'm with you.
Their speech becomes loftier. Their
Right.
ideals, the goals that they have for our country are more clearly articulated
Right.
during this time where they are gaining their presidential voice. When you call somebody an evil loser, that's not presidential voice.
No.
That's playground stuff.
Well, I mean,
That's not even good Jonin. That's not even good
Jonin.
Jonin. Evil loser.
Jonan.
You know.
I hope we don't have any young listeners. They're like, what the heck is Jonan?
Oh yeah. That's when you talk about people. This was actually before the whole bullying thing, and bullying is bad. But there was a time where we did
Right, we just
talk about other people.
Like next week, I'm going to Joan on you when you had that damn romper on. Okay, like that. That's when you can learn what Jonan is. Turn in next week. Okay.
But presidential voice, he doesn't have it. He doesn't inspire loftiness. He doesn't inspire anything.
Right.
Basically,
He doesn't.
He inspires fear, contempt, divisiveness. That's not the presidential voice. So, and I bring this up because it's something as Americans we should expect. We've heard soaring rhetoric from Barack Obama. We've heard soaring rhetoric from Ronald Reagan, those of us who are old enough to remember Ronald Reagan. Going back even further, Franklin Roosevelt, Teddy Roosevelt, Abraham Lincoln.
Preach.
Soaring rhetoric
Yes.
from people that lead us. Okay? That's what we should expect in our leaders. That's what I expect in my leader.
Talk about it.
So when you go out to vote in the midterms in 2018, which I hope you do,
So
when you
important.
go out to vote in the presidential election in 2020, which I hope you do, look for the presidential voice. That's what you want. That's my whole idea right there. Okay, final topic.
All right, what you got?
Once again, Donald Trump. But this is
I think
about
we're going to be in trouble.
this is about a man and his budget. Okay. A couple of days ago, the budget was recently released. Okay. And I have an article here from The Atlantic, very reputable magazine.
Great.
It is
Talking about those
entitled The
cuts.
Unworkable Math of Trump's Budget. Okay. Unworkable math. What are we talking about here? I'm going to tell you exactly what we're talking about here.
It turns out that the entire budget is based on a $2 trillion math error.
That wasn't billion with a B. It was trillion
Right.
with a T.
It
Donald
turns
Trump is an
out
idiot.
That the entire budget is based
I
on
hit both buttons, but it works
It
anyway.
works, yeah.
math error.
Okay, a $2 trillion math error. What are we talking about here? Okay, in the article, Jason Furman, former chairman of the Economic Council of Advisors,
Right.
He wrote that the unreality gimmicks in this budget are unprecedented and epic scale. Okay, these are people that deal with these numbers all the time.
Right, this is what they do.
Exactly.
Unlike our president.
The article says that the budget fails to properly use what is
president.
called dynamic scoring, which tries to capture how policy changes will affect future revenues. In the budget, the administration forecasts healthy economic growth in the years ahead.
Right.
It says that the economy will grow at a 3% annual rate. Now, that doesn't sound like a whole lot. Okay. Why do they think it's going to grow so much? Overhaul the tax code, blah, blah, blah.
Right, yada, yada.
Trump's going to lower the tax rate for corporations
Rah,
from
rah,
35 to 15. Top income tax rate from 39.6 to 35. Okay. Here's the catch in all of that. The budget goes on to predict that growth will in turn create $2 trillion in additional revenue. Okay. And that's all well and good.
Sure, sounds
The
good.
only problem is they neglected to calculate how it's going to come about. Okay.
Okay.
How they're going to account for those lower tax rates. Okay. Furman goes on to say, even if you accept the tax cut that will unleash all of this growth, the budget somehow forgot to include the cost of the tax cut that is producing all of the growth. So we don't know where he says that's a several $1 trillion mistake.
Right. Mistake.
Let me tell you
Turns
something.
out that the entire budget is based on a $2 trillion math error.
If you make a mistake with $20 of my money,
20.
$20, I'm upset. You're talking trillion. Come on.
Trillion. According to most economists, this is a highly unrealistic projection. The Congressional Budget Office, for example, projects an average real growth of 1.8% over the next decade. 1.8. He's talking about 3%.
Right.
I mean, just completely off the scale. Where does he come off? Does he just pull this stuff out of his behind?
Listen.
I mean,
you
honestly.
get yourself all worked up and upset over something that we already know.
I mean, first of all.
But I
Donald
appreciate
Trump
you
is an
bring.
idiot.
He's an idiot.
First of all, he's an idiot. Second of all, he can't add.
Yeah.
Okay, well, which is actually included in being an idiot.
Filed for bankruptcy 4 times, so I'm not.
Larry Summers, I'm driving this point home. Larry Summers said the Trump team prides itself on its business background.
Right.
This error is akin to buying a company assuming that you can make investments that will raise profits, but then in calculating the increased profits, counting the higher revenue while failing to account for the fact that the investments would actually cost some money to make. Okay? He goes on to say,
What'd he say?
This is a mistake no serious business person would make. It appears to be the most egregious accounting error in a presidential budget in the nearly 40 years I have been tracking them. Now, the natural question is, if you're not up on your budget people, who is Larry Summers?
Oh, I know Larry.
Larry Summers
I
is
be
an
hanging out
American
with Larry.
economist, former vice president of developmental economics and chief economist of the World Bank, senior U.S. Treasury Department official throughout President Clinton's administration, became the Secretary of the Treasury, former director of the National Economic Council for President Obama, former president of Harvard, and now he is professor and director of the Masavar Ramani Center for Business and Government at Harvard's Kennedy School of Government.
So you mean he know
He
a little?
knows
He know a little bit
a
about
little bit
just a little bit about
what
money.
he's talking about, and he
Okay.
called it the most egregious error in 40 years of tracking budgets.
Listen.
All of that tells me.
It turns out that
Sorry.
Donald Trump is an idiot.
I'm still working on the sounds. It's
the first
okay.
show. It's the first show.
It's all right. He's an idiot.
He is. He's absolutely an idiot. I'm glad that we just let the listeners know that. I don't think they knew that. So Sean, thank you for breaking news. That he's an idiot. Let's do this.
Absolutely. Yes.
Let's talk about something fun.
Okay.
All right.
We can do
So, what about? Really fun, but at least interesting and nonpartisan political. Tiger Woods said he's coming back. But let's do this. Let's do this. Speaking of sports, how about you bring in sports when we come back? Let's
do that.
let's look one more time at our sponsor. Give him another shout out, the Elite Athletic Program, and then when we come back, Sean is going to have sports for you. We'll be right back.
All right, we are back. This is 3-6 Nation Radio. Monica Livingston, Sean Parker here. We are just so glad that we can be here. This is our first show, and still ironing out the kinks. But you know what? It's all good.
I think we're doing pretty
I think we are. I think we're doing okay. And so that we can continue to do okay,
better talk
I'm
about
going to
them.
talk about one of our sponsors. I'm going to talk about the Crystal City Sports Pub.
Has some times in
That's
there.
her wheelhouse right there.
Oh, wait a minute.
So-
we live? Are we back? Oh,
So whenever I want some good food and nice sized portions, I mean, not bird food, I'm talking about big boy portions, I look no further than the Crystal City Sports Pub. Now, if you just stay on the original story of the restaurant, you can be doing just fine with the pool tables and the aforementioned good food, but then they added a grand second story, okay? And check this out. They've got 6 37-inch LCDs, 2 8-foot projection screen TVs, a 10-foot projection screen TV, and as the cherry on the top, a state-of-the-art sound booth. They're open 365 days a year, and they are waiting for you. The Crystal City Sports Pub, 529 23rd Street South in Arlington, Virginia. Call them at 703-521-8215 or visit them on the web at ccsportspub.com.
Ah, that was nice. I love that place. The steak bites, the Billy Bain steak bites. I get them well done. Make sure they don't put too much salt on them, but I love them. It's a great place. They've always sponsored me in all my endeavors, whether it's a basketball tournament that I'm doing for the nonprofit, all the way to this radio show where when I first started playing flag football, all the way to the DC Divas, and they continue to support them. So to Billy, John, Jimmy, and Artie, thank you guys very, very much. And
Thank
that
you
was
very
a
much.
perfect lead-in for
It's
our
time
next
for sports.
Time for sports.
All right, so 3-6 Nation Radio Sports. First topic, you mentioned it before we went to the break. Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods said on his website, it's been just over a month since I underwent fusion surgery on my back. It is hard to express how much better I feel. It was an instant nerve relief. I haven't felt this good in years. I can no longer live with the pain I had. We tried every possible non-surgical route and nothing worked. I had good days and bad days, but the pain was usually there and I couldn't do much. Even lying down hurt. I had nerve pain with anything I did and was at the end of my rope. The process leading to my decision to have surgery was exhaustive. I consulted with a specialist, and after weighing my options, that's when I decided to go to Texas to have surgery. So he said he feels as good as he has been in years. My question is,
Yeah.
where does he fit in the game? Because in all of the years that he has, had been having troubles, starting with the Elon incident, we won't go into that.
Was that trouble?
But it's just a little bit of trouble.
I guess it was, but he was playing his best golf ever. I've always said that what Tiger needs to do is go find another 10 women. That was the problem.
But
That man, since he had one girlfriend, he's terrible. He just keeps dropping. I think he had 10 girlfriends at the same time. He was doing amazing. Then he went down. He had he's plagued with injuries though.
Mm-hmm.
His Achilles, right and left, both. He's had knee surgeries, ACL, MCL, 2 back surgeries. He's plagued with it. But even through all of those injuries, because the back surgery are the last 2, but prior to that, man, he was doing phenomenal. You're talking about a guy who's won over 100 major tournaments, and more sponsorship money. He ranks in the top 3 or 4 of all-time golfers and wins. And the thing that changed was, he got divorced, and people say, oh, he got divorced and didn't see his kids as much. No, that's not what changed. What was happening was Tiger had 19 girlfriends, and then he had 1, and he doesn't like that hole in one. That's all I'm gonna say about it. That's what I'm gonna say about it. I went there. Wrong. Okay.
I don't even have a sound effect for that. I just
did my own.
I'm just gonna keep going. But here's the thing. He had all those good, but as you get older, you can't do all the stuff that you used to do, and the proof is in the pudding. He hasn't won a PGA tournament since 2013.
Right.
The 2013 WGC Bridgestone Invitational.
Yep.
He hasn't won a major. I don't know if people realize this. He hasn't won a major in almost 9 years.
Wow, when you say it like
the
that, I don't think of it that way.
The 2008 U.S. Open was the last major he won.
Wow.
So, I mean, the question is, where is his place in the game? I mean, obviously, he has transcended golf because we're 9 years removed from his last major. We're still talking about him.
Right.
So, obviously, he is in the pop culture. But in terms of his place in the game, is it time for him to step aside?
Listen, I would. I think any athlete needs to know when it's time to step aside, right? And I think it happens though when it's the only thing you know to do, then you keep doing it. And sometimes you do it much longer than when you're supposed to do it. I think you're right. If he hadn't had this scandal, I don't know if we would be talking about Tiger, because he would be a successful golfer that, you know, had success, and that would be really it. But
And he'd be somewhere working on the Eldrick Woods Foundation.
Exactly. But we are so interested in his life now because of the lifestyle peak that he gave us into his lifestyle that we're like, oh, what's he going to do now? And I think he is feeling like he needs to recover from that. He never truly recovered from what people thought about him through that incident, the scandal. He hasn't been in the top 500 golfers in years. Right. At this point, Tiger is right above me. I mean, like, you should have seen me at Top Golf the other day. Boy, you want to... I got some putt for him. He ain't ready.
So in other words, you have just as good a chance at qualifying for the PGA Championship as he does.
What you said.
Okay.
What you said.
All right.
So, I mean, I hope that the best we can hope for Tiger is, like I said, best advice, get him a couple women. He'll you know, have some more fun like he did, and then he'll do fine.
You know what? Maybe what he should do is become a coach. We're going to segue into our next topic.
All right.
Okay. Terry Bradshaw recently came out and said that Nick Saban's salary, he's a coach of the University of Alabama football, said that his salary was shameful. Now, just in case you don't know, Nick Saban is scheduled to make $11.25 million in 2017. That is single season salary. That makes him not only the highest paid college football coach, not only the highest paid college coach, period, it makes him the highest paid team sports coach in North America. And there are only 3 coaches in the world that make more money than him. Pep Guardiola, the manager of Manchester City, makes $19.4 million a year. Ooh. Okay. The question that I have with all of these numbers, are coaching salaries getting out of hand?
Of course.
Are we paying these guys too much?
We're paying coaches too much, and we're well. Let me say this: we're not paying coaches too much for the fact that what we want them to do is cultivate elite athletes, right? And those elite
athletes that have foolishness about them these days.
Right, that's true, and that's a whole nother thing. But elite athletes, so they are, you know, the ones that are cultivating those athletes that then an owner can make even more money off of. So you need a good coach. But what I think we need to talk about first is the fact that I think athletes in general, their pay structure, how they're compensated is too high. I mean, what happened to just playing the game for the love of it? I mean, I agree that if you're entertaining people, you should have a share in. If you're out there and you're part of the pony show, you should have a share in the revenue. But we've gotten ridiculous. I mean, I almost crashed the car. What is Odell getting? He's gonna some ridiculous amount. It escapes me right now, but some ridiculous amount of money that he just signed. For what? For playing a game? Come on, man. I've played sports my entire life, was better than most of the boys when we were out in the yard, surpassed my brother at times. Sorry, Reggie, if you're listening, but you know it's the truth for me, and I still love you. I mean, you're smarter. Okay, but anyway, I was faster. So, you know, and then I played in high school, in college, and then for the DC Divas and some other leagues that are highly competitive, and always was motivated simply for the love of it, the fun, the camaraderie that you have with the team. And it didn't hurt. Did I have sponsors? Yeah, I did, and it was fine, but it never was about the money. And so we've just gotten into this this era now where it's so focused on the money. And I'm fine with you making your cheddar, your bread, you do you, right? Because that is your talent, that's your skill set. And anybody that has any skill set, they should be paid to the highest if they're really trying to hone in on that skill. So if you're a speaker, do the best that you can. If you're a teacher, do the best that you can. This went faster than I think. There's one thing we have to do. I just got the word here that we're running out of time. We've got to take this confession call.
Absolutely.
We've got to take this confession.
You teased that earlier to me, and I was like, yeah, I definitely want to hear this.
Let's see. The call-in is going to come.
As she's doing the call-in. Okay. That was a little bit cheesy, but that's okay.
How about we do Elite Performance one more time since they were our big sponsor. We'll come back with closing out with our confessions and advice segment. And this is 360 Nation Radio. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to 360 Nation Radio. Sean Parker and Monica Livingston. And Monica, you've got a special guest on the line that wants to talk to us.
Yeah. So the other thing that we wanted to do, right, was give the community a voice in all areas, right? Whether that was going to be, nonprofits coming in, letting us know what they're going to be doing, different parties that are happening, anything that's happening in our city, we want to give them a platform for it. The other thing that we want to do is be sensitive to people that need somebody to talk to. And so we have a caller here that called in and said, I just want to know, I need some advice. We don't know her. She doesn't know us. And so she wants to see what's going on. And I think we have her on the line. I'm not sure how this works. Caller, are you there?
Yes.
All right.
Is it on speaker?
Yes. All right, let's try this again. All right, one more time. Caller, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, how are you today?
I'm good, and you?
We are fabulous. We're just kicking
Thank you
off
for joining us.
Yeah,
really.
our first show here. So we're just going to jump right into it. What's going on with you? What do you need Monica and Sean to help you with?
All right. Well, I've been married for about a year and 2 months now.
Okay.
And me and my husband, we were kind of like childhood sweethearts at 16. And then I wound up moving from New Orleans to Virginia. And we kind of separated for 20 years. And then we kind of reconnected, got back together, and got married. Everything was all hunky-dory, lovey-dovey. And then it got closer to the wedding. I noticed a change in him. And it started with the drinking. I tried to tell him he drank too much, and he don't want to listen. But I think he has a lot of underlying issues as far as, like, stemming from childhood. I keep trying to reach out and tell him to talk to his mom and his dad, but he doesn't want to do it. And a lot of his past, he keeps bringing up in our relationship now. And to be honest, it's like he's really turning me off, like sexually. We haven't had sex in 5 months.
Say what? 5 months.
Wow.
5 months.
Ooh,
Because he's
Lord.
turning me off. Because I keep trying to tell him that I'm not the same 16-year-old girl that you met. I'm a grown woman now.
Well, let me ask you this.
And
So
Yeah.
let me stop you just for a second. Was the sex prior to the 5 months? I mean, was the sex good?
Yes, it was
Okay.
awesome.
Okay. So it's not the sex wasn't the problem.
No, it's just he's so depressed, and he thinks that that's a turn on for me, and it's not a turn on. It's really not. It's too depressing. He keep bringing up the past, and I keep telling him that you need to work on your past and clear up everything so we can move forward. He kind of like all the stuff that he went through, he's kind of putting it all on me, almost like it was my fault that it happened to him.
It sounds like he's having some self-confidence issues,
Yeah.
and if you are not confident in yourself, you can't portray that confidence. And confidence is sexy.
Oh yeah.
Confidence, you have that swagger. So if he is lacking in that self-confidence, yeah, he needs to work on his issues and get himself straight. I know it's already
Right.
been 5 months, but I don't think you want him coming at you without getting himself completely where he needs to be mentally, because if you're not where
Right.
you are mentally, it can affect you physically.
Right. Well, let me ask you this: is he willing to work on himself? Is he see an issue?
When I try to talk to him about it, he says he's going to work on it, but
But he doesn't
nothing
do
ever
anything.
changes.
No action. Now, is he still trying to sleep with you at that point, or no?
He is, but I'm not turned on physically.
Right. Well,
It's like a lot of things that he's doing is like childish to me. And it's like I'm not a child. I'm a grown woman.
now when you say childish, just real quick because we're running out of time here. But what type of things? Define what type of things. You talking about things that he's doing that are childish in the bedroom, or you talking about just in general as a man? He's still acting like a teenager.
Both.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, so he needs some help in the bedroom too. Then he's doing them old tricks, them 1989 tricks. He needs some new stuff.
Exactly.
You need to get him a
Exactly,
video,
and
a
it-
tutorial or something. Like he need to.
I know this might sound like a cop out question, but have you tried therapy? Have you tried going to talk to someone?
I tried to talk to him about it, but he said he doesn't want to do it.
I mean, so he doesn't want to see a therapist.
No. Because I told him, I said, I think you need somebody from the outside who doesn't know exactly what's going on. That way you can talk to them and they can explain to you, like, well, maybe you need to change this, and this.
Right.
But he's not willing to do it.
Here's what I'd like to do. Caller, we are running out of time here. So what I would really like to do is we're going to pick this back up. We're not going to just drop you off here. Give Sean and I an opportunity to look into some things that we think we can, help you. And we really are going to research this and come up with some ideas, because we're not about just
Okay.
leaving and dropping our listeners off. So give us an opportunity. We would like to have you call back in the top of the hour next Thursday, if you could. And we're going to pick
Okay.
this conversation right back up. In the meantime, get him one of them male rompers and tell him to get himself together.
Make sure it fits and make sure he gets paid for it.
I sure will.
Thank you for calling.
Thank
We
you,
look forward to
guys.
your call. Call us at the top of the hour next Thursday when we'll be right back here at listenvisionlive.com, and we will take your call and we'll solve it at that time. Stay away from him until we
Okay,
get this
thank
figured
you.
out.
Thank you, caller.
Thank you very much.
Time
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
is just flying. I mean, we're out of time.
We are.
We're
That's
out of time.
crazy.
We've had to bump stuff from the lineup, but that's okay. We'll add it back in next week and we'll keep rolling on. Folks, don't forget, follow us on social media, 36 Nation on Facebook, 3_6_ Nation on Instagram, at 36 Nation on Twitter. And make sure you come back right here, listenvisionlive.com, 5 p.m. next Thursday for 36 Nation Radio.
Hey, thank you, everybody. This has been amazing. I want to thank the team here at Listen Vision for making this happen. Shout out to our engineer, our intern. This has been amazing. We're excited to be back.
We'll have
see
an
you.
open caller segment
Yeah.
next week. We'll take calls, and That's it.
That's it. I'm Monica Livingston, your 3-6 Nation leader.
I'm
We're
Sean
out.
William Parker. We're out.
Peace. Cut.
Cooled off.
Listen Vision, listen Vision, DC's #1 recording studio. Oh.